So thanks very much indeed, Anthony. Thanks so much to BVA for giving me the opportunity to speak on this topic, which I think has relevance to the welfare of very many animals. I think, as you say, BVA is increasingly proactive on animal welfare. As you mentioned, I've been fortunate to be a member of the Ethics and Welfare Group for a few years. And the purpose of this webinar is to have a look at some of those policies, to celebrate what's happening, and to critically assess activity in certain areas. I should say it's a personal view. That's important to mention, and it's about ethical consumerism, essentially, the power of the informed consumer. But I should also say right up at the top that if someone was on my shoulder looking at my ethical behaviour, I'm sure in certain areas I could do things better. Certainly in areas that I don't even know about, areas in which I don't even know how to be a better person, and even in the areas that I'm going to be talking about, I'm sure I'm not watertight as well. So it's not to sort of say, why can't the world be more like me, I suppose is what I'm trying to say. It's not a perfect world, but we are going to do what we can. And the other thing to mention is that it's not my solution that I'm going to be talking about. It's not as intelligent as that. It's really to look at a prevailing sense of a solution from others who've looked at the welfare of farmed animals, and to examine whether vets can play more of a part in bringing that solution to bear, if indeed it's the right one. So I thought we would actually kick off with a couple of polling questions, if that's okay, and it was really just to get a sense of who's been kind enough to come on this evening. So hello to everybody, and thank you. And the first one is just a sense of in which area of the profession do you mainly work. There's loads of farm animal vets, or a real spread from across the profession.
So I've launched that, Sean. So it is just a case of clicking on the button. However, if you're on an iPad or an iPhone or a tablet, sometimes it, well, certainly with an iPhone and an iPad, it doesn't work. So you will see underneath the little box you've got on the side that there's an opportunity to put questions in, which of course you can use for questions, but you could in that part put in what part of the profession you're from, just so that you know, people know where you're coming from and stuff. Very interesting here today. I think you've got all your mates and family on this, Sean, because I noticed that Peter Wensley, is that a brother? Oh well, no, that could quite possibly be my dad. Hi, Dad. Hello, Peter.
You've got to boost numbers somehow.
We've got 41% are companion animals.
41, yeah.
Yeah, 5% large animal practice, 5% equine, 6% mixed, and 42% other. So I know we'll have students on, we'll have some veterinary nurses on. There'll obviously be some people who are, you know, perhaps retired or within the profession, but obviously maybe working for a drug company or a food company or whatever. So a nice spread, but you know, 41% are listening in from companion animal practice.
Okay, that's really interesting, thanks. And the 42% definitely isn't made up of family and friends. I haven't got that. But that's nice. Okay, so I think sort of nicely relevant to that finding then, perhaps, was this one. Just another quick question. Do you feel reasonably aware of the key welfare issues affecting farm animals? And I put that in because I was recently speaking to some companion animal vets, and they said, well, we haven't really, you know, looked at this since uni. And I guess, you know, some people feel as though they have a vague sense, others maybe feel more informed. So again, just for interest, really.
I think it's a difficult area, isn't it, really, because things do change. And I know when I was at university many moons ago, the big thing was veal crates. And of course we were very, you know, my understanding at the time was that the UK were very good, and of course what we did was we banned it, and of course then all that happened was the farmers sent their animals to France, where they were then stuck into a crate again. So you know, they not only were now in a crate, but they had a 1,000-mile journey at the start to look forward to. So it needs to be a really good approach where it's happening across the whole of the EC, doesn't it, really?